Hello and welcome back to Zekism. Alien Earth, the Noah Hawley made TV show on Disney Plus currently. I have really enjoyed the series. I didn't think I would as much as I did. And I'll tell you a tale. I remember in August when it came out, I was in America on holiday with my family. And alone one evening, I switched on Disney Plus. Oh, Alien Earth is out. I completely forgot it was on because I was on holiday, obviously. My mind is elsewhere. And episode 1 was amazing. Absolutely set the tone. I thought it was really great. And actually, it's one of those shows, in hindsight, I wish I'd done episode by episode reviews. I wish I'd done it, but I could have theorized and waxed lyrical about the plot lines and the characters, and I think it's been a triumph. I think it's really great. Episode 1 had me. Episode 2 sort of, I was like, at the end of episode 2, I was like, I'm not sure I'm digging these extra life forms. I'm not sure I'm digging the kids in the synth bodies. I'm not sure about the direction of the show. And after episode 3, I was back in. I'm really engrossed. I want to see where this story goes. I actually want to see what these extra life forms do. And I mean, so many beats to hit. That's why I wish I'd done an episode by episode thing. There's so much to talk about. First of all, we get to the beginning, episode 1, where we introduce to the premise of the hybrids, the children who are, bodies are decaying. They've got we assume some sort of disease, cancer potentially. I'm not sure if they establish it, but their consciousnesses are put in synthetic bodies, and the concept is what does that do? And I think that's one of the things I wasn't interested in when I heard the premise and saw the trailer, but actually throughout the series I was more engaged with those characters. What they're going through was established, and I think it paid off in the end as well. What does a child's mind that has that done to it and then is encountering a horrific part of the world, or a horrific event happen with these life forms that are interacting with, what happens there? And we see what happens with Marcy, Wendy Marcy, I'm not sure what to call her, but what happens when she is able to communicate with the xenomorphs. And we're able to see, first of all, the xenomorph. She kills a xenomorph, then fosters a miniature xenomorph from her brother's lung. This is what I should have done episode by episode guide. There's so much to explore, but I think overall, I think the biggest triumph I think I could possibly give this show is it sits alongside Alien and Aliens for me, and I didn't think I'd be saying that at the end of it. It sits alongside these two classic films in this universe that they've set up. We never went to Earth in those two films, mind you. I don't believe so. I can't remember them going to Earth. We did in Prometheus briefly when we saw sort of, the Weyland-Yutani world, but they did allude to these corporate entities owning the planet and sort of warring to a certain extent. So this is sort of, I don't want to say extracurricular or extra universe stuff, but it is an interesting facet of the alien universe that we've never explored before. What the Earth looks like, the warring. We've seen what the corporate overlords can do, their priorities in the alien universe, and we see the warring between Weyland-Yutani, the young genius, the sort of what that entails and what they'll do to hold on to assets or create assets even, the sort of the real grubby corporate side of the universe, really well mined here. And then adding in the sort of extra facets of, like I said, something that's always been prevalent in the Alien universe as well. Go back to the original 1979 film, the synthetic. It was a big facet of the original, and what the relationship between human beings and technology is, combined with what the relationship between human beings and this accidental encountering, which is a key point which got lost on me with Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and to Romulus to a certain extent, the back half. The Prometheus side of the Alien universe for me, which I know we have to acknowledge now because it is canon, is the least interesting part for me, because for me the appeal of the original 2 films and any Alien film that's come since that has acknowledged this being a thing has been the accidental encounter between human beings and this life form, this alien life form that, much like I think the original concept would, Dan O'Bannon was the wasp that lays an egg in its prey and the egg hatches into a new life form. That's what the facehugger is. And the evolutionary cycle of the alien has progressed. I mean, when it became that David created the alien life forms in his little cave in Alien Covenant, I completely threw my hands up and went, nope, that's not Alien for me. That's not how it should work. And so, wisely, in my opinion, this show ignored all that, introduced a few new alien life forms, all of which are parasitic, which is fitting, because that's the sort of life form we're dealing with. I mean, I didn't think I'd be won over by them at the beginning of the show. Towards the end, yeah, I was sold on almost all of them. I think, the plant one is fine. It sort of did what I thought it would do to that poor soldier. And the fly was fine as well. It's pretty grotesque that it just sucks a whole load of blood out of your body and then sort of explodes. But it's it was fine. The gnarliest one for me was sorry, not the gnarliest, but one of the gnarliest ones was the tadpole, the parasitic tadpoles that carved out that poor worker's body on the ship. Episode 5, gotta shout out episode 5 as well. I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself. Episode 5 for me was amazing as well. That was the Alien movie we didn't get since Aliens. Romulus was so close to getting close to that as well. The first half was so good. Second half, Prometheus again got in the way of what would be a great Alien film. And yeah, I thought episode 5 was great. I've got to mention the online criticism this show is getting in terms of being stupid, or characters don't make stupid or don't make smart decisions, or the story didn't make much sense. I feel like I'm a bit like The Emperor's New Clothes. I feel like I'm watching a different show, to be honest. It's not really, that's not the show I'm watching. I'll be honest, I'm watching believable characters in a corporate universe not give a monkeys about their job, which is entirely realistic in my opinion. They would just be sort of going through the motions on this spaceship for months, if not years on end. Yeah, they'd be completely disillusioned with corporate protocol. And so, criticism I've seen is that, they're making stupid decisions on this ship. They're not being, they're being careless when it comes to leaving things. Honestly, it's, having worked in a corporate environment, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world to me. That makes all the sense in the world to me. Not that I did it, of course. I was a model employee, but you know what I mean. I've seen people in those environments do it. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. But I just thought the whole show raised the tension to a crescendo. I think in episode 7, really, where they go out onto the island finally, and the xenomorph is out there. The xenomorph that Marcy has sort of befriended. Oh wait, no, that's not the xenomorph that she had befriended. That's the xenomorph that came out of poor Yaman, the nice scientist who refused to test on children, or shut down delete the memory of this child inside the synth's body, and he, arguably the nicest character in the show, was face hugged, confused by the other synthetic. Sorry, names are escaping me. I apologise, but he got face hugged. He got chest bursted. He got lied to. He then had the final form with, at the end, the stinger. Sorry, spoiler. With the Oculus creature. I think it's Teoculus or Teoculi or something. Making out of there with his dead body. Carving his eye out, and you'd imagine getting off that island in whichever way they can. I thought it was a really great show, and proof that FX, or whoever's running FX side of things, I don't know who for sure, but we're seeing number of products come out of Fox FX with these historic IPs and maybe even new ones. I'll toss Shogun in as well, which that was FX. Quality programming coming out of FX from Disney Plus, and obviously Disney are benefiting the reward. Whoever they've got running the show over there is doing a great job, putting the right people in charge, maybe not micromanaging the creatives too much, but also giving them room to breathe, giving them license to make quality. And I think this is what we're seeing. I think this is a testament to it. Shogun was great, Prey was great. Probably more that are escaping me, but I think it's taken some time for the Fox merger to die down a bit, than to put some plans together. But Disney is slowly building a repertoire of producing quality work with their FX side of things, and I think this is again evidence of that. Cast wise, I think there's a number I could shout out. I think I mean the main star for me was obviously Timothy Olyphant. He was the biggest name probably in the cast, apart from Adrian Edmondson for me, but you know, as a Brit. But from everyone else in the cast, the young members of the cast that played the kids in the synth bodies, I think they did a good job. Believably playing children inside synthetic bodies and what that would do to your psyche. The young man who played the kid who was being manipulated by the I was going to call him a hybrid as well, but the guy with the robot arm who was on the ship. I should have researched names, but no, I thought the show was great, and I think in a weird way, not in a weird way, but I think it's probably so far my favourite show of the year. They're running out of time to beat that, but I think it's my favourite show of the year so far, definitely. I think that, and I like the ending, even though it was a sort of a maybe ending. They've left it in a place where they could carry it on in a season 2, or it could end and be its own contained solo story. I think those are always the best ways to end TV shows, films. If you're not, you don't know if you're going to recur, but you've sort of rounded off the story if you need to as well. We can make up in our own minds what happens next. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this show, and more pleas from FX in this regard. I hope there is a season 2, because I think there is more room to mine here. There's more things to be able to do with what they've set up in essentially a really established world. We know the Alien universe, we've seen it back to front, but this little pocket of it, this I want to say timeline, because that's such a cliched word nowadays, especially with all the multiverse content, but this was a really interesting story. It was a really well executed one, and I'm looking forward to more. If so be it. I know that's not a real phrase, but I'm coining it. What did you think? Did you watch all of Alien Earth? What did you think? Are you like the others online who really didn't like it? For the sound of it, I'm fine. I'm on an island. I'm on that. Hopefully not that island, but yeah. Let me know in the comment section below. Please leave a like or subscribe on the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.